Hi, my name's Andrew Edwards, and I'm just going to give you, over the next 20 minutes, a very brief overview of the absolute key points that you need to know about in step-by-step terms to be successful on the internet. And so these are huge subjects that I'm just taking out the absolute critical points that you need to be aware of. So first, my background, and I'm from the United Kingdom, and there I worked for a company called Allianz Unichem, and then became Allianz Boots. And it was primarily in business development and e-commerce, but it also included customer services, finance, and logistics. And I'm very proud to say that over that period of time that this was down to myself, yes, $150 million worth of sales, but it was also part of an absolute important team that really made that all possible. And then I left to become the sales and marketing director of an e-pharmaceutical wholesaler in terms of a startup company. And yes, of course, that's focusing on e-commerce. And I, again, doubled the sales from $7 million to $14 million. So I'm very, very happy to have achieved that. But I really had a compelling dream to live in Australia and to ultimately live in Brisbane. And I was told I had absolutely no hope whatsoever of achieving that. So I really had given up hope. It was my dream that was dashed. But there was a small window of opportunity where a consultant said to me, they're looking for people with extensive sales and marketing experience. And you can take advantage of that. And so I did. And, it was all achieved within 2 years, which was a long wait, all things considered. But I've been here 7 years now, and I'm extremely happy to still be here. And I arrived in 2005 with a laptop and a suitcase, as simple as that. And I didn't know anybody, and I didn't know what I was going to do. But very shortly after arriving, I started off in internet marketing, as I say, 7 years ago now, training programmers of web developers on how to build Google-friendly websites. And it was a real eye-opener to see what web developers didn't know at that point. And we moved on to expand into other services to keep ahead of the game. We had these as core focus services such as Google AdWords or pay-per-click or sponsored links. The top shaded boxes of Google when you search and the adverts down the right-hand side, that's what Google AdWords is for anybody who's not sure. And then we moved into internet marketing results-based websites, where the difference between a conventional website and an internet marketing site is that it's based on conversion principles, advanced conversion principles, and tracking what's working and what's not. Not necessarily always the prettiest looking site, but one that actually is functional and gets you the results. Big difference, and everybody needs to be aware of that difference. And then we've continued to expand as core services on other services like mobile marketing, creating mobile websites, and today a very heavy focus of ours is Google Analytics. So you need to know what's working with your online and offline marketing, and this is your dashboard of success. And when, of course, we do include social media, YouTube, LinkedIn, Google+, Twitter, Facebook, etc., and we present on that amongst all these other internet marketing subjects. And we've only been able to basically gain the advanced knowledge over a long period of time. And to look at the big picture for businesses is a real unique selling point, because there's not many companies that look at these multiple different marketing channels and actually have the advanced knowledge to know what's working, because in the end, that obviously is a huge benefit to you. And we work with small and larger businesses as well. And my experience is that, I have failed many times. I've learned the hard way. Learn with my money is one of my favorite phrases. And, those who are the most successful are the ones who failed the most. And I was very fortunate, though, after 1 year to find 11 millionaire world-class mentors in terms of internet marketing. And they taught me almost everything that I know today and gave me the most fantastic grounding in terms of basically what to know and who to basically go to for advice. Invaluable. And I continue to learn something new every day. The internet marketing world continues to change at a rapid pace, and businesses must not get left behind, or they will regret it. and I've watched at least 2,373 videos, professional development videos, and continue to watch one every day. So we keep ahead of the game, and I train my team to know what's cutting edge and what can get the best results. And I used to spend 4 times a week on the phone to these millionaire mentors, asking them all sorts of questions. How does this work? What does this do? What does this mean? And I got to know them extremely well because I was literally the only one in the world, as arrogant as that may sound, but I'm absolutely sure that was the case, to actually be on the phone 4 times a week for 3 years, getting to know what really works in internet marketing. I paid a huge price, both in terms of money and my time, and that gives us and my team the ability to help you in a major way today. So, but you've got to be very careful who you listen to. It's a complete minefield, and you will get taken for a ride unless you get to know who you can obviously like as well as trust. And I just implore you to get to know some questions that is going to find out whether people actually really can help you or not. And otherwise, yes, unfortunately, people will be very happy to take your money and not necessarily get you the results. So these are 2 of our references. Andy Edmonds, who's now the senior director of search for eBay today, and David Bullock, who's the senior advisor to Barack Obama for social media. So these are 2 of the gentlemen that I worked with, and they've been just amazingly helpful to me in my professional development. We also work with lots of small businesses as well, and these are just 2 of the testimonials that I can show you here. But go to our website at andrewadwards.com and you'll see many more that you can read for yourself. So don't take my word for it, as they say. So now we're going to go through the step-by-step process, a whistle-stop tour, if you like, of what you need to do to structure your internet marketing business successfully. And the first thing you need to do before you upgrade your website, before you build your new website, before you change anything on your website, is do professional keyword research. It literally does all start here, because if you don't know the answers to what I'm going to talk about now, then you are literally marketing your business blind as far as the online world is concerned, because your customers obviously communicate via keyword phrases online. You have to know, is there a demand for your business? What sort of demand? What sort of keyword phrases are they using? What problems do they have? And what solutions can you offer as a result? So you have to customize your website according to what people are searching for, as obvious as that sounds. And literally create your content and pages to be specifically targeting the keyword phrases that people actually put into Google. And 80% of all searches are information seeking, and 20% have commercial intent. So, this is no easy task, and we would spend 4 to 6 hours doing this professionally. So while you can certainly look yourself on the Google external keyword tool, just Google external keyword tool, do not make the mistake of actually thinking you can do this yourself easily, because I promise you there's lots of gotchas, and you will get taken for a ride by people that talk about big numbers in terms of searches, but they are information seeking. They are not necessarily going to make you money in any way, shape or form. So step 2 is actually to do your competitive research. What is happening with your competitors? And I hear many people say, but I don't have any competitors, Andrew. And I say back, well, you've got 10 on Google, for sure, even if you've got nobody else offline, because there's always going to be 10 competitors. So you have to do this as step 2. If you don't, you're making a huge mistake. You have to know your rivals' weaknesses and strengths, because you need to know what keyword phrases they're using, not to copy. Every website is different, but to get some ideas and see what could be relevant to what you're doing. What is their strategy on the left-hand side of Google, or as we call it, the organic side of Google, which is free, but it's not really free, because if it takes you 12, 18, 24 months to get there, and then you don't actually convert anything into a profitable outcome, into a sale or a qualified lead, you're going to deeply regret paying an SEO company not knowing that. And we'll give you the answers to what you need to do in a minute. So you need to know what their unique selling proposition is. What are they doing on paid advertising? What marketing copy are they using? Which pages are they sending the adverts to? And what are they prioritizing? And what's their interactivity on social media with YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus? What's working for them? We can reverse anybody's strategy online by implementing this, and it's so important, and you need to know, because it will fast track your success or literally hinder your success at a massive cost, potentially for many months to come if you don't do this. And I don't underestimate what I just said. It really is that important. So the next stage is to actually create your website, or upgrade your website, or change your website accordingly to the information that you found in steps 1 and step 2. So is your website crap? That's the question. And I don't mean that literally. I mean, does it have contrast? These are advanced conversion principles that must be adhered to, and I promise you not every web developer by any means knows this or implements it. Do you have repetition through your site? People like consistency, assuming that it's working in terms of their user experience. Are your images and text aligned in the way that, again, make the experience very easy to actually find what they need to on your site? And in terms of proximity, again, how close are images to the text? Where is your call to action button? Extremely important, and things that you need to work with a conversion specialist, not a website designer necessarily, because there's a huge difference. And while we create websites with conversion principles based in mind, not just pretty looking websites. Need to be professional, yes, but you also need to know what's working and what's not working. And so the answer to that is that you have to get, if you've got a website today, a website audit done. And it's like a thorough checkup with your doctor. You need to know how well your site is structured, and is it designed the right way with your outcome, your goals in mind. Extremely important. And what can be improved and what's hurting you that you will have no idea unless this is actually implemented. And we offer for selected clients a free brief video website review, but we also have an up to 83-point website review as well, which goes across all the details you can imagine for your online as well as some offline marketing principles. So what else should your website audit include? This is a heat map that shows where people's eyes go in terms of your website. And the key point here is, what sort of key information are you going to place in the top left-hand corner? This is proven information over years via Google, and this is now in Google Analytics. Only in the past few weeks, it's part of your setup that you can see what's happening with your website. So what are you going to put in that area that is going to match the goal of your website? And how fast is your website loading? Incredibly important for your user experience, but also it's a small part of Google's algorithm in terms of whether you rank on Google or not. So this is technical stuff. You won't know this unless you work with an advanced professional who knows where to go to actually find this out for you. And finally, what else should you include in a website audit? These are just brief examples. Key points, but there's many more that I don't have the time to cover now. So do you have Google Analytics goals set up? And do you have Google Analytics set up on your website? It's worth thousands of dollars, but it's completely free. And assuming you have, do you actually have the goal set up? So you want people to contact you. Do you have your code on the thank you page of your contact us as an example of a goal? Because that tracks all your online and to an extent offline marketing as well in terms of what's working and what's not working. And how much duplicate content do you have on your website? Technical stuff, but you won't know what it is unless someone knows where to find that information. And this will hurt you because Google are giving a website score to every website in the world now. And while no one knows what that is, certainly duplicate content is not something they like in any way, shape or form. And if you don't eliminate that, you are going to struggle to rank where you want to rank in the future on Google. So, and finally, are you testing as well as tracking? We're going to cover that a little bit later. But assuming you've got any reasonable amount of visitors, what could you test and track that could improve your conversion? So as I mentioned, we do offer a paid 83-point review, but also a free website video audit as well. for selected people and businesses. So what can you track with website analytics? This is a summary. I'm not going to read everything out for you, but virtually everything can be tracked with web analytics. So it's extremely powerful, and with Google Analytics, it's completely and utterly free. So you can also see which other websites referred business and visitors to your website. And what's your bounce rate? Do people like your website? Do they hate your website? Do they click on any links at all that takes them somewhere else? If they don't, that's what's known as a bounce rate. And so you can see which social media websites are referring business, and we'll cover that later as well. But is social media working for you? And this is just an enhanced view of what a bounce rate is. So if you've got an 81% bounce rate, or anywhere between 50 and 80, you've got some serious issues, and you need to know this, because it's not whether I or you think your website's great, it's whether your visitors think it's good. And so you need to make some changes, unless this is a strategy that you are purposely looking for a high bounce rate. And so what else can basically you can find from Google Analytics is what keyword phrases are searching, what are people searching for your website. And so therefore, what new content can you create that is relevant to the keyword phrases that people are seeing. And so in terms of social media, you can actually for the first time ever see the impact of your efforts on social media in terms of dollars. And you have to set up goals, but you can see whether Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn assisted in a conversion, whether it was the last click, or did it start the conversation. This is now available for free in Google Analytics, but you're going to need some professional help to implement that and understand what's really happening. So this is something you can't ignore anymore, but let's assume that you've finished your website. You need to promote it now. Everybody normally goes for the left-hand side of Google thinking it's free, but if it takes you 12, 18, 24 months, as I might have mentioned before, and then you don't convert those keyword phrases into sales or qualified inquiries, you're going to be extremely unhappy, because you would have paid someone at no return to actually find that out. So pay per click, if you do it for only 3 months with a reasonable budget, and reasonable data, you can find out which keyword phrases actually convert into a qualified lead or sale, and ultimately it's the quickest way to market your website and your business, and it's the cheapest market research that you'll ever do in comparison to paying a company to do it. And you can test your adverts for offline marketing, which will save you thousands of dollars. And then you can remarket to your visitors. If you have a lot of traffic, this is very powerful. So every time they leave your site, they will see a banner of yours. And so it's hugely impressive in terms of branding, and they will definitely not forget you in terms of actually when they're ready to make that buying decision. So in terms of advanced search engine optimization that would take place after pay per click, I've just taken some key points here, because as I mentioned earlier on in the video, every website has an authority score. No one knows what that is now, but I promise you, if you're not producing what Google want, i.e. if you've got a duplicate content problem and you've got in some way a spammy site, Google aren't going to hurt you in terms of your results on their search engine. And this is known as the Panda update. Huge subjects, but I'm just touching upon it here now. But if your description tags are the same as another website, which is basically every time you search on Google, there's the title tag with a blue link at the top, and the description tag is underneath. And if you have, for any reason, duplicated the description tag as a competitor, and they were the original, then you are going to hurt yourself in ways that you have no idea about if you're trying to get ranked on Google in the future. And you can over-optimize your website as well. And so there was a Penguin update recently that essentially will penalize those who are not acting naturally, in the words of Google. And if you've got paid links and unnatural links and manufactured links coming into your website, then you're going to, again, suffer severe penalties from Google's point of view. And you also need to know, are you over-optimizing with the keyword phrases in what's known as the anchor text that are part of the links that come into your website from external sites? big subjects, but these are really the key points to be aware of. And so in terms of SEO as well, you've got to create pages for your users and not just for SEO purposes. And you must have a Google Webmaster Tools account, which is completely free. And if you've got a Google account, just Google Webmaster Tools, and it gives you lots of technical information that is critical to know. It's the only place Google will tell you what is actually working or not working on your website. And you need to do a little bit more than your competitors, and that's all, because that's what Google see as natural. And so this is just a brief mind map that I put together about social media, which you're now doing alongside your SEO and your pay-per-click, and you shouldn't leave it until afterwards. You should do this alongside. And so whether you're talking Google+, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter, they all have their analytics inbuilt to their system, so you can see what's happening on their site. But you need to get people off of social media as fast as possible while collecting their first name and email before they do that, by giving something away for free, and send them to your blog, because social media, in short, is a conversation starter, and your blog is a credibility builder. So that's where they get to know, like, and trust you, and then you can sell them your stuff on your website. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to buy your stuff straight away. They might like some offers on social media, but if you're trying to literally sell your stuff all the time, it's not going to work for you. And then you track via Google Analytics and the social media reports, is social media giving you the return on investment that it's obviously intended to do? But this is absolute fact, as much as it can be at this stage, because this gives you, are they taking the profitable sort of actions that you can monitor, and you can see, well, yes, this is working, that's working. Facebook's working more than YouTube, or Google Plus working more than Facebook. It will tell you all this information in Google Analytics. So just very briefly, what's new, what's cutting edge when we're creating this video, that people now have the opportunity to pay for Facebook posts. Don't be mistaken that every Facebook post that you've made in the past has been seen by the people who like you, or basically are fans of yours, because that's never been the case. It's about interaction, and so therefore now Facebook are giving you the opportunity to post advertise specific posts for 3 days that can get you a bigger amount of exposure. So for example, instead of 16% of people seeing it, you can get 55 or 60% or 80%. There's no guarantees, but 80% of people who have liked your business page, for example. So this is cutting edge. This is brand new, and Google Plus, you just can't ignore. I know that it's at the time of this video, up to something like 285 million users, and this is growing at a rapid pace. And there's every chance that in 3 years it'll be bigger than Facebook. So don't underestimate Google ever, because this is different to Facebook. It's about passions, it's about interest. It's also going to be a major, and it is today, a major part of search engine optimization when you're logged into your Google account. If you have a number of people in your circles, as they call it on Google+, and you build that up and you put out valuable free content, then you're going to get found on Google in the next 12 to 18 months like you'll probably never get found again, because this is the honeymoon period, and this is your opportunity. And it's a superb system, and it's also being used now by major companies of 55,000 employees as an internal communication system before they actually use it for marketing. And finally, in terms of YouTube, the way that YouTube are currently looking at it at the time of this video is they're looking at how long do people watch videos for as part of the key ranking analysis. It's not just now about views, or whether you've got the keyword phrase in the title tag, and there are many other parts of their algorithm that nobody knows everything, but they're really now consciously looking at how long do people watch videos for, because ultimately that's all about the user experience, and it helps the advertising as well. So finally, what could you test? And there's many different things that you could test in terms of increasing your conversion on your website. You could change your company's tagline, you could change your headline, And that alone could increase your conversions by 1 or 2%, if not more. Looking at your marketing copy in terms of the introductory text, what's your offer? Change your offer. Look at your guarantee. See if people prefer something different. And then, obviously, what's your call to action text? Just by changing that can have a huge impact on your conversion. So I hope that's useful. And if you've got any questions, please send them through to info@andrewadwards.com. That's info@andrewadwards.com. We'll be happy to answer you.